Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We are back. Make sure you hit that subscribe button for all my new people that's in the building. If you haven't already subscribed, hit that subscribe, like button. Make sure you share this content. All right? So here we go. Welcome to Basketball Heads Live. I am your host, Glenn Poole Harding. And oh boy, welcome to season 6 and Happy New Year to all my basketball heads. Tonight, we have a very special guest. This basketball head is a former Kansas City drug dealer turned infamous AAU basketball coach. In the 90s, after a prison stint, he pivoted out of the streets and became the coach of a legendary team of high school players called the Children's Mercy Hospital 76ers, who later became the Kansas City Rebels. You know, like the UNLV running Rebels. I love this. This basketball head had a talented squad consisting of the country's #1 high school player in Jarron Rush and future NBA players Kareem Rush, Earl Watson, Korleone Young, Corey Maggette, and Mike Miller. Damn, he has some heat. The team garnered national recognition as well as sponsorship proposals from Nike, Adidas, and Reebok, of which this basketball head chose Nike. At the height of the team's success, this basketball head later became the face of a national scandal that rocked the world of high school sports, as he was federally indicted and charged under trivial suspicion for playing. Hold on. Let me get this right, because I've read this 1,000 times, and y'all got to understand where I'm coming from. Do y'all understand what's happened to this brother? He was federally indicted and charged under trivial suspicion for paying players. How egregious is that? This basketball head is currently writing a book on his life called Piggie's Rule and is in talk with former NBA player Matt Barnes and CAA, who have shown interest in adapting his story into a documentary and limited TV series. We want to keep that in the air, the positive vibes, so we can manifest these things that happen for this brother. This is going to be an amazing show. Trust me. So, without further ado, help me welcome to the show, Kansas City legendary AAU coach, my guy, my brother, Mron Piggie.
Y'all ready? Yes. You have just stepped out into the world of chaos, where everybody goes hard. Come on. Go hard. Go hard. Go hard. Go hard. Go hard. Go hard. Or go home. Never back down. You gotta hold your own. Go hard. Go hard. Go hard. Go hard. Go hard. Go hard. East Coast. Go hard. West Coast. Go hard. Midwest. Go hard. Dirty. Happy up, everybody. Get online, buy your tickets, cause the game about to start.
What's happening, King? How you doing?
Hey, good brother. How are you, man? Bless you today, man. I'm great, man. God is so good, my man. It's a pleasure and honor, man, to just have an opportunity to sit down with a legend like yourself.
Oh man, listen, I'm not gonna claim that legend status yet because I am sitting in front of a legend myself. So
No.
I'm honored to have you on the show, brother. Trust me, I'm very honored. Um, I was making my rounds as I usually do around the circuit in New York City, checking out the high school sports, and I was tapping in with a few people who knew you and knew your story, man. So you definitely well known on this end, brother.
Well, man, it's an honor and pleasure to have an opportunity to sit down with you, my man. I've been
Listen,
waiting for years.
man, we've been look, and I tell people all the time because people think these things just be happening like a week or 2 weeks in advance. This was a whole year in planning, right?
Yes, it was. Yes, it was. They don't. I mean, it's a pleasure because the first time I got an opportunity to kind of chat with you, we was just trying to get everything organized, and then I just every morning I just up at 4 or 5 when guys wake me up, and I send scriptures down, and you one of the brothers that I send scriptures to every morning.
Man, I appreciate those scriptures, brother. It gets me through the day, and when the start of my day, it just keeps me in the right mind, focused to have a great day. So thank you, and I appreciate it. Keep sending them, brother.
Ain't no doubt, my man, no doubt.
Well, listen, man, you have an extensive story, and we're going to jump right into it, right?
Right.
I know you started off playing football, but who introduced you to the game of basketball?
Hey, the hood, man. The hood. I mean, all that, the hood, that came a part of sports. As you grew up in the hood, you're going to do all sports. And that's just what a part of it. When you're an athlete, that's what you do.
Yo, it's funny that you say that because I started out playing football. I actually went to my high school to play football and end up making the team as a freshman, even up making the basketball team as a freshman. So I was playing varsity football and then I was playing junior varsity football and then made the varsity basketball team as a freshman and quit football. So trust me, being in the hood, you play baseball, football, basketball because you're exposed to it all.
Yeah, we played, you're out there, you playing street ball, man. You playing basketball till midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning. Then football during the daytime. You're playing tackle football and on the hard ground or whatever. But, sports, man. And, when you were a kid and you from the hood, that's what you do.
Listen, you gonna earn your first check of the night. Now, y'all heard what he said? He said tackle football on the concrete. Y'all don't know nothing about that. That's facts, because that happened all over the country.
Yes, it did.
Oh, man, that you brought back memories with that one. So, where in Kansas City are you from? Because I know there are different parts of Kansas City. Let's let
I'm
the world
from
know.
Kansas City, Missouri. I'm from Kansas City, Missouri, man. I'm born and raised in Kansas City. I'm straight from the hood, man. I grew up in here. I'm born and raised here. I come from a family of 12 here. And when you come to Kansas City, Missouri, you come to Kansas City, Missouri. I know it's Kansas City, Kansas. It's St. Louis, Missouri. You have all the other Missouris, but this is Kansas City, Missouri.
That's
where
right.
I'm at.
And it's so crazy because people don't know this, right? Because, there's a East St. Louis, right? That's in Illinois, but it's really in Missouri, right? And they count it as being it's weird, yo. I never understood that. But man, this is your story. We're gonna get right into it. How was life for you as a young Myron growing up in Kansas City?
Man, life for me was great, man. I come from a family of 12, man. My dad and mom was in the home, man. And it was exciting because when you got 6 brothers and 6 sisters, or 5 brothers and 6 sisters, hey man, and you from the hood, a lot of stuff is good, man. A lot of stuff can happen. And, I come from a family, man, where we was well known in this city and in the inner city because I had a brother, man, that which he passed away now. I had a brother who was he really was a great athlete. He was a boxer. He was a football player. And then he was a street dude and he was a gangster. So that was my idol. So when I look at back in the day to see life, when I seen that dude, I wanted to be like my big brother, man. That was my dude, you know. And he ran this city, man. You know, he wasn't nothing to play with, so that was my idol. So that's where I patterned my life behind, with his demeanor and the way he was moving.
Because, you know, he played sports. Do you wind up playing sports? Because you was the first freshman to play varsity in your high school, correct?
Yeah, I was the first freshman to play varsity at Lincoln High School in my era. Yeah, I started. I kicked in at 150. We had every summer we used to have summer practice, and summer practice used to start in August. And I was coming out to 8th grade, and then I had two other brothers. I had a brother was a sophomore up there, and I had a brother was a junior. So my whole demeanor was, hey, I wanted to play with my brothers. And I decided to go to summer practice. And no freshman ever in the inner city go to summer practice on high school. You know, so I stepped in there and I said, you know, and everybody looking at me like, what is this dude doing? And I stepped in there, but I had a demeanor because the way I grew up on the streets, I grew up as a street fighter on the streets. And then I also played YMCA football. And, you know, and then, you know, I did some other things on the streets, but my mentality was different than a lot of brothers' mentality, because when I was a young man and I grew up with my idol, he taught me to do a lot of things that a lot of brothers at my age wasn't getting the opportunity to see for street life, you know. And so when I walked in there, we the first week or so, you just go in there and you don't have no pads on. You got to go through and shape. You got to get in shape and get all that. So everybody's kind of looking and laughing. Man, this brother he ain't making no varsity, man. I don't know why he here. And I was just in the back of my head, I said, when time comes and we put these pads on, I'm going to turn all these brothers out. God's my witness. When we put them pads on, it was the Oklahoma drill. I don't know if you ever heard the Oklahoma drill, where they put two footballs one football on the side and one football on the other side. And one person run the ball and the other person tackle the ball. You just got to go up in that hole. And
yes.
At this time, we had the best running back in the state of Missouri. His name was Sam Phillips, big boy. And what they did, they tried to set me up. So the first person I had to run up against was him. And when he came through that hole, man, I hit that big boy and made that big boy fumble that ball. And they was like, oh man, wow, look at this. And they thought it was a fluke. And then next time, the next brother came through, I made him fumble the ball. And the first day of practice, hitting, the coach said, you are my starting linebacker. And I weigh 152 and I'm playing varsity football at middle linebacker at 152. And I started and I made 40 straight years. I was the best linebacker in the city.
To be so young and given that role as middle linebacker, that it showed that you was a fierce competitor, and also that you was a born leader, because that's a leadership position right there on defense.
Yes, it is. And I got to the point where all the guys who started talking about I wasn't gonna make the team, when we got in the locker room, I started doing some things that we wasn't supposed to do. So I let them know who was in charge, because I had two other brothers. And my other brothers wasn't no punks. So, you know, they start writing articles on us as the three little piggies, you know.
Wow.
And then they start kind of comparing us. Back in the day, Oklahoma had the Solomon brothers.
Yeah.
And they started naming, because Oklahoma was my school I wanted to go to. And they started writing articles on us. But when I kicked in as a freshman, I just feel like I was on another level, man. Not boasting or bragging, but I just had a different demeanor, because before I even went to high school, I was a street dude.
At such a young age, man, when did, you know, street life kind of take over fully for you? Like, did it happen after high school or right after football?
Let me tell you something. I'm not going deep in that. Street life took over me when I was 11 years old.
Wow.
And that's going to come in the book documenting. When I was 11 years old, I got my first taste of street life.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? And that right there, and brothers didn't realize, and I didn't realize until I was older. Back then, mental illness, man, was it wasn't heard of coming through.
It was kind of shunned. It was kind of looked down upon, right?
That was weak. You was weak when you come like that. But when I had some major that I had to do at 11 years old, and I had to live with that. After I did what I had to do major, I had to wake up and go to school that next day and still live and that kind of let me know that I started being separating from a lot of people, because these guys was just probably, getting milk and having sack lunches and going home and their mama's taking care of them, this and all that. Well, I was doing other things, bro. I was in the mix of a lot of other things,
And it's funny that you say that, man, because the stereotype is guys who get into that life usually just come from single parent back homes, or there's parents that are not in the household, and you had both parents there, man. So
I had a military dad, and my mom was my mom was so great, man. She was a little gangster too. You know what I'm saying? So I had a straight and narrow dad with a gangster mom.
Mm.
Got
you.
And so it was mixed, because the discipline was there, but at the end of the day, the discipline came from the dad, but the street life came from the moms, because the moms understood what we was going through as kids. Mm. You know what I'm saying? So that made a big difference, man.
Wow. Now I know now that you look back on some of the decisions you made as a child, now I'm quite sure you're saying you could have made better decisions, correct?
Maybe, but at that time, the way we was living, I don't regret none of that, because that's why I'm still here today. My past got me where I'm at today. So can you make better decisions? Maybe, but did I want to at that time? No. And I don't regret none of that I did, because I was taught one way. And that one way was, when you do things, you do them by yourself. You make things happen. You never let nobody mess over you, And I mean, one day my oldest brother said, if you ever come home and somebody whoop your butt, I'm gonna beat your butt every day until you go back and get them. So my demeanor was, and I'm talking elementary school. My demeanor was, nobody's gonna ever whoop me. And I'm not going home to get that ass kicked, because that dude was a vicious dude. And so, do I regret? I don't regret none of that, man. I just don't.
Hey, listen. Gotta live with it. You stand on that business. You gotta live with it, and it's your life and it's your shoes that you gotta walk in. So definitely respect that, for sure. Do you remember the age when you first got arrested?
Yeah, the first, and that's weird, because I never had all my youth years, I never got arrested until I was like the age of 26, and that's the first time the feds knocked on my door. The feds, you know what I'm saying? And I never had a juvenile record. I wasn't in the streets to I wasn't no robber or no or do little stupid crimes. you know, I just was a hustler, and when I hustled, I was just a different dude, man. I never took nothing from nobody, but I did my own thing, and then and you know, I don't want to go too deep in it, but the first time I got arrested was it was a good friend of mine that was close to the family set me up.
Wow.
And that's when life changed. That was a life changer for me, because here you are, I'm running the streets, man. When I say running the streets, I'm running the streets. When I went in the neighborhood, I dominated the neighborhood everywhere I went. I was the man, and when I came in there, people realized, and people already knew who I was. So that was a life changer that night that I went to deliver some stuff to her.
Wow. This is deep, man. So
Yeah.
when you went to penitentiary, did you have a plan before you got out? Like, did you make up your mind the things that you wanted to do before you left the penitentiary and implement that plan once you got out?
No, I didn't. You know, what I did was, when I went down to the penitentiary, because when I went to the penitentiary, what you want to do is you want to just focus. You know, I blocked the outside world out. I blocked the world out. I'm in the penitentiary. I'm in here with men. So I'm not focusing on what's outside. I'm focusing on just being here and surviving. So no, I never had a plan. And my whole plan was whatever God had for me, that's what God was going to give me.
So how was your transition back into the real world after your prison stint? How was that transition? Once you got out, what was that transition like?
Peaceful. When I came back, you know, I married at a young age. I married when I was like 19 years old. And the wife I had was a solid Christian woman. Her family was Christian. And it took a long time for me to get in that family, because her mother and her dad, they just didn't play. And here I am. I met my ex-wife. We divorced now. I met her in junior high school. And we went from junior high school until we raised 2 kids together. So she was the rock, man. She was the rock. I never was single when I was a young man. Never. You know.
Being the guy in Kansas City, man, you know, you had your pick of the litter, as they say.
I had to pick of the litter. I mean, I was who I was. My thing was what I wanted, I got. And I just figured what always separated me from, because Kansas City ain't no joke. Kansas City is dangerous. It's always been dangerous. But what separated me from all the other guys was everybody wanted to hook up with everybody else. They wanted to have guys around them. You know, people who got names on the streets, they got their names because they had somebody else around them doing work with them and for them. I was a loner. When I came to you, I'm coming by myself. I had brothers, but I didn't use my brothers for that. I came and when I'm coming to get you. So I was a different dude, man. Yeah, I had anything and everything I wanted. I lived a life, man, that I had money. I could move around anytime I wanted to. If somebody did something to my sisters or my brothers, they had to pay the piper. Simple as that. And that's where I feel that what separated me from a lot of dudes, because these dudes that had names here, and I don't hold nothing back. When these dudes that had names here, when they went to the penitentiary, they didn't have that name no more because they didn't have nobody to back them up. But when I went to the penitentiary, it was me, and people knew who I was, and I went in there. I had to demonstrate, but that's just the way life is. You know how you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I guess coming up the way you came up and having your brother as a role model who taught you early on, and being in the game since you was like 11 kind of prepared you for whatever came your way. So definitely, you was good
Yeah,
in that situation.
yeah. It was interesting, but at the end of the day, it made me feel good the way that he taught me how to be a young man and be able to transition myself into into a man. Because my responsibility, my first son that I had, well, my first son that I had with my wife, we was in high school. She was a junior and I was a senior. But my whole thing was he taught me that family was so important and family was number one. You don't you don't you don't abandon family. And that was the foundation. So I was a different drug dealer and street dealer where dudes who sell crack or dope or whatever, they'd be hard and harsh. I was kind of like a kind of, believe it or not, a kind drug dealer. I would never look down on nobody who came and got stuff from me. You know what I'm saying? And if they was short, I would always help them out, and I would never put them in a bind where they feel that they was pressed or didn't want to come back to me. You know what I'm saying?
Nah, I totally get you. Totally get what you're saying. Trust me. So, coming from the life you came from, what made you get into coaching AAU basketball and not football? Because you played football. That's the life that you know. How did you get introduced to the AAU game?
Well, my son played basketball, and I really got into coaching was once I got out of high school. You know that all the schools used to play against. I started giving basketball tournaments. So if it was Lincoln High School, Manual High School, Central High School, East High School, I would get teams together and we would give tournaments. And I would give tournaments. So that really kind of got me away from football. My heart was broken football because I had all the college coaches in the country come to my high school. Bo Schembechler, Woody Hayes, Barry Switzer, all of them came to my high school to recruit me, but I didn't have no grades to go because my teachers was like, hey, if you came to class, I would pass you if you just be quiet and don't disturb my class. So that hurt me. That hurted me coming through school because although my dad was who he was, they gave me a pass because who I was as a football player at Lincoln and and demeanor I had, because I had a bad demeanor in high school, man. And when I realized that football wasn't it, basketball, my son started playing. And believe it or not, AAU basketball just dropped in my lap. I was never looking to do no AAU basketball. It was a guy named John Walker here. This guy built the program of Children's Mercy Hospital. He started off with nothing. He didn't have no sponsorship. He didn't have nothing. And what he would do was I had nephews and I had a son, and then he ended up getting Jarron Rush. And he mixed Jarron Rush with my family, with my nephews and my son. And he would go to tournaments with no finances, and they would start beating people. They would beating solid organizations. And where we both made our mistake at, but where he made his mistake was we got the wrong sponsorship from the wrong person. We got it from a rich white guy. And what he did was he had a hidden agenda. So when John brought the kids up and Jarron started having a lot of attention across the country, what he did was John slipped and tried to, like Bob Givens used to give big tournaments. I know you heard of Bob Givens.
Yeah. Oh, and, definitely.
Yeah. Bob Givens used to give tournaments. I'm trying to think about the boy out in New York, the old white guy was real big out there. Used to give big man tournaments, big man camps and all that. Well, he started trying to say Jarron wasn't coming to no camps unless you paid him.
Right.
But once the sponsorship got a win of that, they fired him after a tournament. So my son was on the team, and when they fired him, they was like, we had a parent meeting and everything, and they was like, we need to find a coach. And out of the blue, the parents was like, well, let Piggie coach. And then that's how it dropped in my lap.
Wow. And that guy you talking about, Sonny Vaccaro?
No. The guy I'm talking about is Tom Grant.
No, I'm talking about over here in New York.
No, not Sonny. Sonny was ABCD. Me and Sonny.
Yeah,
cool
ABCD.
today.
Yes, ABCD.
No, but it was another guy. He had just passed away lately. He was from your area.
Richie Kosick. I know Richie Kosick has something to do with it. Not Tom Kachowski. Tom Kachowski was a scout.
Nah, man. He was big, man. I get it.
Was he from New York?
He was from that area out there because he used to do big man camps. He was the king of big man camps.
Okay.
I don't know if he was Italian or what.
Got you. It'll come to me.
Well, anyway, once they found out this dude was trying to pay people, they fired him. Then I came in, and when I came in, I just didn't like the squad that we had. And by me coming out the streets, putting teams together, I said, let me change this up. So what I did was I went out across the country and started recruiting. And I went to Nike camp, and I had to back up, but that's a different story. Before I signed with Nike, it was a war on who wanted for me to wear Adidas, Nike, or Reebok. And Sonny, George Raven, and Jim Herrick Jr. Jim Herrick Jr. was running Reebok, Sonny, which was Adidas, and George was Nike. And it was crazy. I used to come home and I used to have boxes and boxes of gear on the porch and in the yard because everybody wanted us to wear their gear. And that time I just had the #1 and #2 kid in the country.
And who was that?
That was they were switching Korleone Young and Jarron Rush. And so Nike and everybody wanted us to wear their gear.
Now, were they both from Kansas City? Were they from the area?
Jarron was from Kansas City. Korleone Young was from Wichita, Kansas.
Okay.
But the weirdest thing is, come to find out, Korleone Young was end up being kin to me. And we didn't know that until I brought him up in Kansas City, and then his mother, his grandmother, and his grandfather said, he was like, I'm with Coach Piggie. He's like, Piggie, that's your people. Because my mother, on my mother's side.
Got you.
And then that's when I found out that we was cousins. And so once I got the team, I'm like, I'm gonna tell you, and this is a true story. I'm gonna tell you who made me go the way I went. That god dang on New York Riverside.
Salute. Legendary AAU program. Been around for over 30-something years, maybe 40 years. They've been around a long time. Salute to
New
Riverside.
York Riverside and the Gauchos.
Yes, both. Gaucho's been around since 67. I think Riverside came around in the 70s.
And that what made me change my whole demeanor, because I gave a big tournament in Kansas City. And I invited them Negroes to my tournament. And Jarron was sophomores at that time. And Ernie Ladd, which we ain't going in that name. We know he was deep, but we ain't going with it.
You talking about Riverside Church? Ernie Lorch? Ernie Lorch.
Yeah.
Yes, Ernie Lorch. Yes.
Ernie Lloyd. Ernie Lloyd came in the gym with Elton Brand, Ronnie Artest, Lamar Odom, Eric Barkley, Jesse, and a few more motherfuckers. Excuse my language.
No, that's so good.
And we ended up playing them Negroes and they were seniors. And my boy was sophomores. Them Negroes beat us by fucking 50 points.
All right. Okay. Now we talking. New York City's in the building and made my guys look. Hey, look, we can just say this, right? They made you step your game up, correct?
They made me step my game up. And what I did was I started recruiting. 2 weeks later, we ended up playing them in D.C. at George Washington. What is George Washington University?
Yes.
And we ended up beating them by 2 points.
With the same team with sophomores?
No. I had picked up a couple of more guys. They weren't big name, but I changed my strategy.
So hold on. Let's we gonna get back to this. How in the hell does a former drug dealer who played football have all this knowledge about basketball? Where did you get it from, Piggie?
I played basketball too in high school.
You didn't say that, fam.
I played basketball. I started varsity my sophomore year.
Oh man.
I played basketball too. I averaged like 20 points a game and maybe 15 rebounds because I was strong and solid. I was a basketball player. I told you, I was an athlete, man.
Man, and listen, we getting deep into your story. You went to Lincoln out in Kansas City, and I went to Lincoln out in Brooklyn. Isn't that crazy?
Really?
Yeah, I went to Abraham Lincoln in Brooklyn. Facts. Where Stephon and Sebastian Telfair came from. Lance Stevenson. Yeah. Wow, man, this is exciting. So let's get back there. Y'all beat them by 2, correct?
No, let's get back when them niggas came in here in my fucking gym and fucking punked out my guys. Them niggas, I don't hold shit back.
Got you.
When you fucking real, you real. That's
right.
Them niggas came in there and that goddamn Artest didn't even have no motherfucking socks on.
Meta world peace. Definitely. Hey, he was known as Ron back then.
And that goddamn Brand was a motherfucking beast.
Yeah. Yep. Man.
So when I played them niggas and they came in my gym and took my fucking trophy from me, I said, that shit never happened again. That's when I went out and said, I'm finna change this whole fucking game of AAU basketball. I went out and I started getting on a fucking plane. I started going, when I started seeing niggas, excuse my language, when I started seeing people, kids in tournaments, I became, not only that, I became the best recruiter in the country. Because I go in anybody's house today and I can sell them and I can get their kid. That's real talk. I'm an old street dude, man.
Man.
And when them niggas walk out that gym with that trophy, and I'm gonna tell you something. Not only did they walk out, they punked my boys. And when they punked them, I let them niggas know. These niggas came in y'all house, and these niggas punked y'all. And I said, I'm not standing for that. Whoever gonna stand. If you ain't, I'm cutting your ass. And it was, and we had some good athletes here, but the thing was, they just didn't have the heart. They had the talent, but the way I was from the street, talent wasn't good enough for me.
Hold on. You just said something important. You done racked up about 5-6 texts already, and we didn't even get to an hour yet. You said talent is not enough. If they don't have that dog, if they don't have that in the fight, what's the sense?
It's wasting my time because I had that dog. I wanted to make my team the way my demeanor was. And if you can't get to my demeanor, you can't play for me. And that's just the way it was. So I just went out and changed the whole landscape of fucking AAU basketball. That's why when you say Piggie rules, I changed all them rules because I took it. New York Riverside made me do that shit. That's real tough.
Hey, and it's good because you know your first podcast is on the #1 New York City podcast, so it's only right. It's only right, brother. So when it became Piggie's rules, right?
Yeah.
You changed the name from the Children's Mercy's Hospital 76ers to the Running Rebels, correct?
I changed that because what I did was I ended up getting out of the sponsorship of CMH.
Got you.
And when I did that, that's when all the hell broke out. Because when you get to the point, and I'm just gonna be real, I don't hold shit back. When you get to a point when white people know that you don't need them no more, and they always want you under their hands, then they get mad and pissed off because now they don't have no fucking control. And that's what in the Midwest, it ain't like California or the East Coast. The Midwest is so fuck it. The Midwest is so fucking prejudiced it ain't funny. Because the white people control that. You know what I'm saying? And it's so conservative. And I'm a type of dude that only person I'm answering to is God. So got to the point where once I separated myself from that program and started getting sponsorship from Nike, and I mean, this the book and the documentary and the TV series gonna tell a whole lot. I can't go all deep.
No, I get you because what you're saying is what Cat Williams was talking about, and this is why he broke the internet this week because he was speaking a certain truth about being his own man, right? And financing his own dreams and not letting nobody else take advantage of coming inside.
That's what happened with me. I'm a former drug dealer. I'm a former street dude, and then not only that, they had me investigating on other stuff. They could never get me. I was in shootouts with cops, and I almost killed an FBI agent.
Mm.
So I'm not going deep in that. That's going to come in the book and all that. But they didn't understand this type of Negro getting this type of team together and getting this type of recognition.
When did you realize you had something special going on?
When I was 11 years old, man.
No, I get that. I'm talking about with the AAU program. Like, when did you realize, like, man, we got something here. We can take over this whole AAU scene across the country?
After y'all came in and kicked our ass.
Yo, that's so crazy. That's so real. Hey, you
No,
keep it a
that's real
buck.
talk.
You keep it a buck. You keep it a buck.
Hey man, if I'm with you, I'm with you. I don't run from nothing. I don't hide nothing. And one thing about me, my word is my bond. I don't never lie. I don't do nothing. I'm always real and I tell the truth. When y'all came in here and kicked my ass and y'all started with me, I had to sit on that fucking bench. Cause when kids get their ass kicked, it ain't nothing you can say to them. They gotta take that ass whooping. And I sit there and watch them kids take that ass whooping from them grown ass men from New York. Hey, but you know what? I got my revenge 2 years later because Eric Barkley and Jesse and they came back to KU. And we ended up beating them again in overtime. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's when I changed the whole scape of AAU basketball.
Now, who were some of the guys that you added on with Jarron Rush? Like, who did you go across the country to get to add on to this great AAU team?
Man, I had to, I went out and recruited Corey Maggette. I had Mike Miller.
Ooh.
I don't know if you remember Ryan Humphrey at Oklahoma.
Yeah.
I had Ryan Humphrey. I had Eugene. I drew a Dean, played for Connecticut. I had Kevin Braswell. I went and I had the Darius Holden. I went across the fucking country and recruited.
And where you get Earl Watson from?
Man, look, Earl Watson's in my backyard. Earl Watson is 10 minutes from me. And Earl Watson came out. Earl Watson was the best shooting guard in the city, Missouri and Kansas. And when Earl came in, Earl thought that he wanted to come in and score. And he wasn't getting no scholars, he wasn't getting no offers. And we go to Boo Williams tournament in Virginia.
Oh yeah. And
2 o'clock in the morning, I'm hearing a knock on the door. And because I'm asleep. I'm like, what the fuck is this? So I wake up and it's Earl. Earl come to me and say, Coach, this is my last year. I'm not getting no offers. And I just was fucking real with him. I said, you know why you ain't getting no fucking offers, Earl? Because you fucking trying to score with Jarron, Korleone, Mike Miller, and Corey Maggette. You're a fucking point guard. You ain't going on no motherfucking next level to score no 45 points at the point guard. I said, let me tell you something. I said, ain't no reason you shouldn't average 25 assists, 20 to 25 assists a game with them type of guys you got around you. I said, pass the fucking ball and then let the game come to you. Man, when I told Earl that Negro, the light bulb hit. And that Negro started averaging 20 to 25 assists, 15, 20 points a game. And that what took us to the next level. And then everybody, Jim Harris, Roy Williams, Shashesky, Calvin Sampson, Nolan Richardson. All them motherfuckers started asking about Earl. And then we went to Vegas and Earl turned burgers. First, no, we went to St. Louis and played the St. Louis Eagle, Larry Hughes him.
Mm-hmm.
Earl turned that motherfucker out. And they gave us the trophy with the Eagle because they was their tournament. We went down there and kicked it. We went down there, just like New York Riverside came in and kicked our ass. We went down there and kicked their ass. And I gave Earl the Eagle. It was a trophy. And then after he did it after he did what he did in Vegas, Jim Harry came to me and said, Piggie, what do I need to do to sign Earl? I said, Jim, just fly your fucking ass in town and he'll sign with you. They flew in town, him and Steve Lavin, and Earl signed.
I'm just so amazed at your transition from street dude to a coach and being able to communicate with all these powerful coaches across the country that we see on TV and kids wishing to play for, and they calling you for players. How did that make you feel knowing you was a power player in the AAU scene in New York, in America?
It didn't make me feel no kind of way because I was a power player in the dope game in the streets. So you basically what you're doing is you transition to one thing to another. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So when you're running your own life in the streets, now you realize you're running this. It's the same. It's just a different game.
It's all a game, baby. It's all a game, right?
It's all a game, baby.
Wow. Now you doing business with the biggest sneaker company in America. When did you realize your life is going to change for the better or for the worse?
Let me tell you something about that. The biggest sneaker company, I made a mistake when I went with them. I made a mistake because we have a tendency sometimes always wanting to help the black man out, right? Well, sometimes we have to have the black man out. You gotta depend on, let me say this. You gotta realize what black man you're trying to help out. Because all black men ain't for everybody else. They're just for themselves. And when I got deep into that, if I had to do that over again, I would have went to Sonny's, Adidas instead of Nike.
And George Raveling was with Nike at the time, correct?
Yes. Yes. And this man, I flew up in 3 days before Nike camp. And I had calls from Adidas, Sonny, and not only that, and Sonny and Piggie today. And they told me then, if you ever say this, I damn near, I say it's a lie. They had Tracy McGrady's people call me and said, hey, if you bring Corey Maggette, Earl, Corey Maggette, Korleone Young, and Jarron Rush to New Jersey for the ABCD camp, we guarantee you'll walk around. I ain't gonna tell you the amount, but you'll walk back out in a bag with a certain amount in it.
Woo!
God's my witness.
Eric McRae said, facts, George Raveling is two-faced as hell and would throw you under the bus quickly.
Let me tell you this. This man flew me to Indianapolis 3 days before Nike camp because that's the first year he took over. This man got on his knees and cried and begged me. God's my witness, begged me to bring my kids to Nike. The bag that Adidas offered me couldn't have compared. The Adidas bag was way bigger than the Nike bag. But I'm a street dude. I want to take care of my brothers. That man freaking stabbed me in the back so bad that I'm going to say this. He went in front of a grand jury, and I'm going to leave that alone. You got to take it from there.
Korleone Young said, yeah, Pig. All your guys coming out tonight. Beauty Supply Sister, Myron Piggie, the legend. Please hit that subscribe button for all the people that just joining us. First time on Basketball Heads. Definitely appreciate your input. Definitely appreciate your support for my guy. I know y'all, you know him before I did, but please, I just want to say thank you and hit that subscribe button. Man, it's crazy, right? Because the saying is, skin folk ain't all kinfolk, right?
No, it ain't. And it bothers me because my kids depended on my decision. And George Raveling came to me and told me that Korleone was going to get some deals like Tracy McGrady. Come to find out, George Raveling wasn't even talking to them people there. He was just trying to buddy his friend Jarron Stanley. Because Jarron Stanley was the agent, which was Keyshawn Johnson's agent.
Woo! I know exactly who that is.
So that's what I'm saying. Once the book, the documentary, and the series come out, you'll know a lot. Because one thing I'm not going to do is lie on a person. If you deserve to be on the bus, your fucking ass need to be on the bus. The bus need to run over your fucking ass every time it come by. If you don't, I'm not going to say nothing about you. That ain't right.
Korleone Young said Nike owe us $5 million right now.
Nike owe us more than fucking $5 million.
Facts. Nike.
Facts.
Woo! F'd us in the end. 100. Myron spitting facts. Man. Wow. First Cat Williams, now Myron Piggie. Letting out the truth. Man, listen. How much did the players' parents and the community support you?
Let me tell you something. When it came to my parents that I had, my parents supported me 100% because when we had practice, my parents couldn't come to practice. I didn't have that. Ain't no parent coming in practice watching this. And I had one rule. Don't no parent ever come to me and talk to me about playing time.
I feel the same way when I coach. Please don't come talk to me about playing time.
No,
That's
you
so
don't
real.
come to me about that because the first time you do, you take you and your kid and walk out the door.
Facts. That's so real.
So my parents never ever came to the gym, and then when I got my kids, they would fly out when they wanted to, but no parent ever questioned me about my kids because you know why? Because they was my kids when I was in my thing. I was their dad. And the thing is, I treated them kids like they was my kids.
Korleone Young said, Myron Piggie, my pops. Facts.
Yeah. Yeah, that was
Man.
my kids. What I used to do with them is, first of all, when we went to a tournament, this is how much confidence I had in them. I would make the reservations to come back Monday morning, because if we didn't play in a fucking championship game, the whole tournament was a waste. Now, we won a lot of tournaments, but we lost some tournaments, but we played in every fucking damn near championship game we went to. We didn't beat everybody, but we sure did. We beat a lot of motherfuckers. And what I used to do with them is, every kid had to stay in my house the night before we traveled, because I'm not running around looking for no damn kid or waiting on no kid for no damn at the airport. When we get in this fucking car, we're going to the airport together. That's just the way it was.
Piggy rules, baby. Piggy rules.
Piggy rules, baby. Piggy rules.
Eric McCray said, yo, Glenn, imagine the parents talking to Doc about playing time. It ain't happening.
It ain't happening.
Bobby Piggy, my uncle is the realest guy out, G. Ayatollah, we done had about 10 texts already. You missed. My guy Ayatollah Beats, DJ producer extraordinary, always on the check-in. Man, this is. I'm just gonna let everybody get their comments in. Definitely peace to you, brother. Korleone Young, I get a daily text from him to this day. And look, I just joined the family, Korleone, and I get him too. So, man, he's always on point. R.I.P. Will Piggy. Definitely. Big bro.
You're the first podcast I ever went on, bro.
And I appreciate
I don't talk to people because I don't trust people. I don't like people. I started liking people when guys started showing me who I was and what he was.
That's real. And I want to give a big shout out to my guy Cat. You know what I'm saying?
Cat.
My guy Kareem. You know what I'm saying? Like
me and Cat spent a lot of time in the joint together, brother.
Yeah. That's that's my young OG, man. Like, he's a guy that always, did good to the hood. He always support everything I was doing. I grew up with his older cousins, right?
Oh, okay.
And I watched him come up. So he's like the OG around the way, and I'm like his OG. But I was a guy who always did the right thing, and he always praised me for that. Like, yo, Pooh, you ain't never played both sides. You always played sports, did your thing, and kept evolving. So when he came and he hollered at me, he's like, yo, do me a favor, get my guy on the show. And when he told me your name, I was like, I know exactly who that guy is, fam. You don't have to say no more. And then once we started to talk, we started to connect, I just felt like a brotherhood was built, man. So
me and Cat spent a lot of time together, man. We was in Springfield together, and he confided in me a whole lot, man. And me and him became close, man, real close. I mean, we spent a lot of time together, just rapping and he, about what he was gonna do when he get out and about his family. And Cat is my brother, man. He's my family, man, and I love Cat, man. I love Cat. And God, thank God for healing him, man, for his health situation.
That's right. Facts. Cat, I'm definitely gonna send this to you, man. We love you, brother. Appreciate you. For sure. Shot 9 Infinity said, peace. Lived many years in KC. Korleone Young said, if Will had lived, I would have made it. R.I.P. Will. Wow. Myron Piggy Jr. Great interview. Pops deserved to have his story told. And we're going to manifest it right here. Piggy's Rule, TV series, book, movies, it's all going to come true.
Amen.
For sure. Bobby Piggy says, time the truth been told. They made my aunt a fall guy, and he still stayed 10 toes down. Facts. Facts. Yeah, Ayatollah. We up like about 11 texts already. For real, for real. Hey, listen. Now, my biggest problem with this whole thing is the same problem that you have is how the hell they give you time for supposedly paying AAU kids like you a college or university or D1 program, right? And
Yeah.
then now I had the NIL deals.
Well, I'm gonna tell you how white people, and I'm just gonna be real with how white people do us. Only way that they got this off. What they did was they went back and got a 3-year-old gun charge that I already pled guilty to. They hit me with that same gun charge and put it on top of the basketball. The gun charge would have gave me 9 to 12 years. They came to me and said, if you don't take this basketball charge, you're going to have to take this gun charge. So I pleaded guilty to conspiracy. Now, conspiracy, the law is 2 or 3. I pled guilty to conspiracy and tax evasion, so the gun would go away while I wouldn't have to do 12 years. And that's what they came to me. You can beat us on the basketball, but you can't beat us on the gun. So that's how they got this out.
That's crazy. That's absolutely insane.
Yeah. And they said double jeopardy don't apply with this because it's a law called dual sovereignty. Dual sovereignty means 2 agencies can charge you with the same crime. By the state, not the city charged me with that crime, the state didn't. So the feds charged me with that crime. And they looked high and low to try to charge me with this basketball crime until they went to the city thing and found that I pled guilty and paid a fine for a gun that they pulled me over on one night.
That's absolutely insane.
That's how they got it out, bro. That's what, and the thing was, it wasn't because of that. One thing you do is, when a white man gets scared of you and got money, he got power in the government system.
Now, was it that same man who was part of the Mercy Hospital?
Killed Tom Grant.
Wow.
He thought when me and him fell out by my history, he thought that it'd be in the book, he thought I was going to do something to him and his family. So he went out and paid people in the government to come after me. That's how it happened.
Yo, Korleone, you're welcome to come on the show anytime, brother. Any of you guys, former players of Myron Piggie that want to come on the show, I'm opening up the platform. And look,
Korleone the only one got balls maybe to come on the show. The other guys ain't got balls, man, like that, because they was built different. Korleone, he's blood.
So did a lot of them turn their back on you once this happened?
You know what? You can't never blame the kids, man, because when you put a kid 17 years old in front of a grand jury, and see, these kids didn't have no parent or no dad, so you can't blame them kids for going in there and making them, and then people telling them kids, you might not never play again. So what you think the kid gonna do?
And since Korleone probably stayed 10 toes down, Eric McCray said Korleone Young was a beast in the court, and he was the first-round talent. Certain agents through Nike and Raveling blackballed him, especially on Tell 'em, T-Mac, and Kobe's agent. If you know, you know. Ooh. Wee. Let it all, man, let it all out. He said, Pops never told on anyone. Took the time to protect his kids. Man. Real life hero. Said, if Pops allow, he'll come on the show. Wow. I will with his approval. Hey, he's right here, so he don't have to approve right now. He'll call and let me know if it's cool or not. Pops always held me down as I did him. I'm the realest and the toughest from that camp. Me and little Myron Piggie, 100. Man. How many national titles? How many national titles did you win?
It wasn't about national titles because you don't have national titles in AAU. But I can say this. Our record out of 3 years probably was 205.
Damn. And how many years?
3 years.
So in the 3-year span, you had such a major impact, helped send guys to major universities and to the NBA, because without your platform, a lot of them probably wouldn't be heard of.
No, man, it wouldn't. And the thing was that I was so cool with a lot of major coaches that them dudes used to come in Kansas City and stay in my house. And I had one coach, John Thompson, would never come to nobody's camp. That dude flew into my camp.
Wow.
And John Thompson, you know how he was. John was John. But you know one thing I found out?
He wasn't George Raveling for sure.
They best friends.
What?
Yeah. And hey, George Raveling was Sonny McCurl's best man at his wedding.
Ooh. It's a secret society. All we ask is trust. Damn.
But you read the book and the document, you'll see who came in and who did what they did and who didn't.
Again, man, I've never heard of a punishable law by imprisonment where you could not pay players or give players money to help them out.
Now, right? But the thing is too, is I agree with what's happening today, but I know how to put a thing on it. I won't say it tonight, but I got a suggestion on how they should treat this NIL, whatever you call it. Because what you're gonna end up doing, and they better wake up and see what really happened. The best player in America college football today, and we all know who he is. If he didn't have all that, he would be a better player and would have done a lot better in college. He's not going to be what they think he's going to be in the NFL. And I said this today on your program. You watch what he'd be like in the NFL. You cannot put that much financing in a kid's hands.
But I think that was the plan. I talk about this all the time. Even though I'm a Division I player and I wish I was able to get a couple of dollars back when I was in college, because we were all broke, and I understand the life of a college player, to allow kids to get that much money, I think in certain ways it killed their drive and their hunger and that inner dog.
Because what you're doing is now you're bringing more people in their circle, and they don't really have time to put that work in like the old school dudes. You know what I'm saying?
Fact.
So you don't need to put that much money in there. You need to make sure that they're comfortable, and enough just maybe they help their parents too, because the parents ain't rich. But one thing you don't need to do is overdo it. And that's what's happening right now, is they overdoing it. Now, you know, I sit up sometimes and I look and say, all these kids and all these guys, basketball, football, is getting paid. I had to go down in the freaking penitentiary for 3 years because they said I paid kids that never happened. Them kids never got paid. And I look at it now like, wow. And then this is one of the other nuggets I'm gonna throw. They looking for me to pay $350,000 back to every unit from Duke, Missouri, Oklahoma State, and UCLA. They want me to pay $350,000 restitution. They said I destroyed their university. That was the government said.
Get the what?
Yeah. They gave me $350,000 restitution.
Now that's just like, oh man, that's like.
But you know what the whole deal was? Why they did that? Because they just want to destroy my freaking life. And when they want to destroy a black man's life when they can't get him, that's what they do. And that's what they did. They want me to pay Jarron Rush, Corey Maggette, Andre Williams, Kareem Rush. They want me to pay their scholarships. When they made money off these kids, now they want to make money off of me. And these kids never got paid.
Man. Oh man, this is absolutely bonkers, man. Like, this is throwing me for a loop. Like, listen, Lee Bird, type in NYC basketball history. You'll find all of my social media platforms. NYC basketball history. Please tell everybody to follow me. Listen, share this content. Listen, we need this to go out to the whole country, because this is definitely a travesty that happened to Coach Piggie, but this can happen to another black man that's trying to help kids in his community.
If they run into the wrong sponsorship, if they run into a wrong white man, I'm just gonna be real.
Yo, you right, Eric McCray. Yo, you so right. I spoke to a college coach. He'll remain nameless because he's my guy. Division I college coach. He said, Pooh, the guys on the bench is getting $80K. Facts. You gonna get it definitely. That's for you, Eric McCray. That is so real. He hit it right in the head. I've heard this from a college coach.
Man, look, I could have been rich. Did you realize how many college coaches offered me big bags? You know why I didn't take big bags? Because I told my kids, and they'd tell you, I said, don't take a piece of bubble gum from nobody. I did not take nothing from any coach in America. And let me tell you something. I know guys who I coach against, the general manager is in the NBA right now. And I tore their ass up when I played against them. And they GMs right now.
Wow. He was like a second father to all his kids. Piggie didn't pay us. He took care of us. Huge difference. Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, I was working 2 years ago. God blessed me with the finances and everything. I was working 2 years ago, and I got in the mail that the government wanted to take 25% of my salary every week to pay $350,000 back. Only way they can get that money if I work a job. If I don't work a job, they can't get no money.
And these universities are worth millions.
Billions.
Definitely billions. I sure changed it. You're right. And this is old money. This is old money. And they're never going to run out of business because kids are going there every year paying top dollars, $150,000, $250,000, sometimes $500,000 for a degree.
Well, you look at it like this. You don't, and you know what? I don't regret it. When they can't get you, I go back to the FBI agent. I go back to the shootouts I was in. I go back to the white man who was against me. The government always had it out, and then they try to get me on some other stuff. And when they don't get you, they try to destroy you. But one thing they can't do is because God is so powerful. God is so powerful. And I know, when you have favor, when people put hits out on you and you survive that lets you know you got so much favor with God that can't nobody touch you but God.
Because you did right by those kids. You didn't
Because I
sell
did
them.
right by them kids.
You didn't sell them. You didn't put them on the slave auction, right? You didn't auction
Never.
them off.
If man, look, them kids was like my son. Them kids was my kids. One thing about me is, only way I made it on the streets too was because I never betrayed nobody who didn't deserve to be betrayed. Now, if you was real with me, you real with me. If you ain't, you ain't. If I liked you, I like you. If I don't, I didn't give an F about you, because my whole thing was, I always thought, before I realized it was a God, I was the baddest thing on earth. I'm really to come, man. I'm just who I am. I never hung out with dudes. I never, with street dudes. I'm out when I went to do street work. I did street work with myself. I'm me, man. Can't nobody ever say that, oh man, this dude got his reputation off of somebody else. I got my reputation off my brother and me. That's just how it goes. I'm 62 years old, be 62 in March. And I don't boast and brag, but ain't no nigga ever whoop my ass in this fucking world. Because you're gonna have to bring your fucking breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and you better bring a fucking snack, because I'm gonna beat your ass until I win.
Emily Hargrave says, amen. And I second that. For sure. So Bobby Piggie said they get money every tournament. They're invited. So how owe them? Right? And because this is what I'm trying to make this make sense. How the hell do you owe billion-dollar corporations, which are universities, and you just said AAU coach? How did you take money out of their pocket?
I never did, bro.
No, I'm just saying. So what they said, you didn't let the players come?
Hold on, let me tell you what they did, what they said.
All right.
They said when I gave a kid any kind of money and he signed a letter of intent, I defrauded the university. I made the kid ineligible. But it's a conspiracy. The law is it takes two or three or more to conspire. I pled guilty to that, and where's my other conspirators at? I'm telling you, man, when this book, y'all ain't got nothing. When this book and documentary and series come out, I don't realize this is gonna be, and I don't boast and brag, but this is a true story and it's a real story.
Man, I know, I think this is episode 272 that I put on YouTube, but I have done over 500 interviews, and I still haven't released some of them that's on my hard drives, and I got like 2 of these, right?
Right.
This is some of the realest I've ever heard. This story right here is definitely movie, book, television series worthy, because with all the stuff that's being exposed right now in America, this is one of the things that need to be exposed, because not only that you have kids involved, you got money involved, you got big time corporations involved, you got big time colleges and college coaches involved, and to top it all off, you got racism involved.
But you know what? That ain't done. You know what? That don't top it off. You know what top it off? They fucking destroyed my family and me. I don't care about none of that. But when you take me away from my family, that was more important to me than anything.
I will agree to that now. Definitely. That is the icing on the cake right now, because when you have the power, and that's what racism does, because it have the power to shift the whole landscape of your life.
Yeah.
Myron Piggie Jr. said, and you don't even know the half of it. Whoo! Man, this is gonna get the ball steamrolling, because I'm definitely putting this all on my clips of this throughout the whole week on all my platforms, so we get the message out there, because this is a travesty for sure. Man. Fact, Sha. For sure. Said the media portrayed Piggie as a devil. Everybody from Jim Rohn to Dick Vitale, they don't talk about the white family that took Jarron Rush and the sponsored. Wow, and they sponsored him. Let's talk about it. Woo, what?
Yeah. It's deep, man. When it all come
and the
out,
fact that you started with him.
hey, they betrayed my son, and Jarron was best friend. They made it like when Jarron got a name, I came into his life. That's how. And you know what? And you know what really bothers me? That when a white man write about you, the black community believe everything they say. That's sad. And you know what I don't have a lot of respect for guys in where I live at in Kansas City, and I don't give a fuck about them, excuse my language, because I ain't never been impressed with none of these dudes here anyway. This whole fucking city blackballed me. When I left here, it was maybe 3 to 4 AAU teams, organizations. When I came back, it was probably 100. Everybody, once I left, everybody started getting programs. And what really bothers me, my kids never paid a dime to come in my gym and play basketball. Now kids got to pay to play basketball and get trained at the same time.
Isn't that crazy?
I never thought that would ever come to that. Not one of my parents ever paid 1 red cent to go in the gym and train a kid. Now these dudes are making damn near 6 figures off these families. And I don't knock it because it's a new era now.
Right.
I don't knock that, and I don't criticize none of them. Because
Wow.
they took advantage of the new era. It's just like the internet.
Yeah.
Social media. I don't knock that. But it just change how life changed. How you go from kids paying no money to kids paying all kind of money now. And I don't knock them dudes. Them dudes, hey, take advantage of what you got. But only thing I say, just be real with you and be real with yourself and be real with them kids and them parents. Don't take advantage of them.
Wow. So listen, one day I'm at the boys high reunion. I have to get this gentleman's name. I have to call Coach Haskins and get his name. This gentleman, he was from New Jersey. He was Dick Vitale's first player. Dick Vitale built his career off this player's back and then threw him away. This guy was telling me this story over and over and over that whole night. And I had his name in my old phone and I lost the phone. I need to track him down.
George Raveling built Nike behind my program. And then fucked us. Then came to me one day and called me and said, hey, can you meet with me? I wanted to talk to you. I said, fuck no.
This was afterwards?
Yeah.
He probably wanted to make amends.
Man, I had not, because I didn't want to do that, because if I would have did that, that dude wouldn't have made it out of this city.
Or he probably was calling you to set you up, probably had a wire on him and probably wanted to get you to say something. It's so crazy how some of these guys work. Wow, he said, Eric, that family paid for everything. And Noon said anything about it and never said anything about it. And no one said anything about it. They were never brought up on any charges. Wow. Used open gyms on Saturday for all of us. And then we went to eat pizza.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah, my man, I appreciate everything.
Nah. And my last question is, if it's one thing that you could have changed, what would you change? And you already spoke about it earlier. You said you wouldn't change anything.
I wouldn't change nothing. My life is my life. I am who I am. I don't have no regrets on nothing, man. I mean, people say they have. No, I don't, because my earlier years is gonna, my latter years, my years that I had in the past, my years that I got coming now is gonna be prosperity, peace, and spiritually and financially for me and my family. Only thing I'm doing right now, I'm living here to God's will to set my family up generations. All my history, I don't want to die. I don't want nobody to say, oh, this was this type of Negro. He was a tough Negro. No, I want to say, hey, this is what he did for my, his family. I got so much I want to do that's, positive in the community. I'm looking to start doing speaking engagements. I'm looking to start doing a lot of stuff, man. But you got to realize something. Kansas City brothers is built different than New York brothers and California brothers and Miami brothers. And when I say different, they not built like y'all those out there. They don't have balls like y'all. And sometimes I always felt that I was on an island by myself.
Man, they did our brother Coach Book Richardson dirty too. They did him dirty too at Arizona. Locked him up, right, for claiming that he gave kids money and then come out with an NIL deal, and now they can give kids money and no one gets in trouble.
That's crazy, ain't it?
He lost his job, his reputation, but he had New York City to come back to, and he was doing a great job with the Gauchos.
But one thing he didn't do, he didn't have to go spend no time in the penitentiary.
Yeah.
That's the difference. When you got to go spend time in the penitentiary and live with 3,000 or 4,000 brothers for 3 years, that's the difference, bro. I don't care what you say or how you do it. That's the big difference.
No, I got you. Korleone said, going with Adidas, Sonny would have not sold us out. Fact. I spoke to him 2 years ago when my book came out.
I send Sonny scriptures every day, and he responds, and Sonny's waiting. Sonny will be a part of this too.
I would love to get Sonny Vaccaro on the show. I don't know if he's doing any speaking engagements. I would love, and not even to talk about, just to talk about his history and his involvement, because he have helped so many guys across the country. It's ridiculous.
Sonny is a legend, man, and it's a privilege and opportunity that I can pick up the phone, and when I call him, he picks up the phone and talks to me today. And like I said, I send him scriptures, and you know how you respond. He respond every day, amen, to my scriptures every day. And he was like, hey, whenever anything come out and you need me for anything, I'm gonna be there for you. But one thing he did tell me, he said, don't put George Raveling in the shit.
Shaw said, wow, this is too much, fam. People roll with the Jim Romes and others and always taking them on face value. A lot of phony stuff has been going on with these bloodsuckers making names off the youth. Salute. Wow. Well, listen, man. I don't think no more than need to be said, man. You said a lot tonight. I appreciate you, brother. And this brotherhood is not going to stop, man. You know, whatever you need me for, man, just call me. You know, my nod always gonna staple to you, man. I appreciate you. Get me motivated every morning with the scriptures, and they come religiously, man. I just want to keep this line up. I want to salute to your guy Gino. Salute Gino, and come to find out, man, him air like, see it like, be it like, man. So it's crazy, man. It's
Gino's my man. Gino's my book writer.
Good guy.
Yeah, he's my book writer, and he's gonna have a big part in writing my TV series too. Whenever I go in the door, Gino's going in the door with me.
Facts.
You know, but yeah, man, I appreciate the open invitation. I usually don't reach out to people, man. I usually just try to live the life God give me every day. I just, your platform is important to me, and I hope that the platform go out and touch a lot of people. And one thing you said, people don't understand when people come like myself or Cat Will, we come real, man. We don't have nothing behind curtains or doors or nothing. When we speak from the heart and we speak real. And everything I say, I can back up. I'm not gonna never lie on a man. I'm not gonna never hurt a man. But if you ain't right, I'm gonna tell you ain't right. And if anybody think that I said something that ain't right, then that's on them. But I know me. I can look in the mirror every night and every morning, and I can smile because you know what? I see the Spirit of God in me, because God know He built me, created me, but God know I'm a real brother. I'm real, man. I'm real. If you call me and say, Pig, come out of New York and do this, bro, I'm coming. You ain't got to say, I ain't got to ask you what you want. If you need me, I'm coming. It was just back in the day when my family called me and they had an issue. I never asked them what the issue was. I came.
Man, listen, brother. I feel honored and privileged that you chose my platform to come on first. The only platform that you came on. So this is why I wanted to do it right. This is the start of my season 6, and everyone knows that this is the official home for New York City basketball. But as of today, I'm going to be going to be opening up my platform to guys all over the country and girls all over the country, women, coaches all over the country, so they can tell their story. But first, we want to make sure that we get this story out to the world. I need everyone to share this.
I appreciate it.
No doubt. If you don't know about me, my name is Glenn Pooh Harding, and I run the #1 podcast in New York City, NYC Basketball History. And man, this has been one of the realest shows, if not the realest show I ever done. And brother, I just want to say thank you, because when it's out on the big screen and on television and on books, I want to be there for the premiere. I'm gonna fly out to wherever it's at and come out and support you, man.
I appreciate you, my man. I thank you for the privilege and opportunity to let me come on your platform. I appreciate Kat for giving me the opportunity to get to meet you. And brother, peace and love, man. And keep me and my family in prayer. And anytime you want me back, I will come back again, only for you.
Appreciate you, brother. Oh, we definitely gonna do a part 2. And look, you come on next time. You come on with Korleone, man. You come on and we make this a family thing and make this right, man.
I come on with Korleone. I come on with my son, man.
Yeah, we could do that. We can make this a big family. Hey, listen, let's do it. Mron Jr., Korleone, Mron Piggie. Let's do it again, brother. Yo, let me say this to you. I love you, man.
Let's get that out there. Let me, I appreciate your platform, man. Make it happen.
No
Peace
doubt,
love,
man.
And in Jesus' name.
No doubt, brother. And you've been my brother for a whole year, man. And I want to say salute, brother.
Okay.
You're a real one.
All right. Peace and love, man.
Peace. Wow. This don't happen too often. This doesn't happen too often when you meet another man and, you've been communicating for a year and he's been solid. He's been 10 toes down since I met him. And I know anybody that my brother, Kat, introduced me to, I know it's going to be a real one. And he's been solid all the way through. His story needs to be told. Again, it's a travesty that they stopped him for helping the young men out in Kansas City because someone else wanted his position. It's sad when someone who has the same skin tone as you preys on your downfall. And he said it. He said, I had Sonny Vaccaro, who's a white man, George Raveling, who's a black man. And I chose to go with the black man because, I want to help out my brother. And then that same guy you call your brother stabs you in the back. Even though the initial racism part came from the guy who was the initial financier from the Mercy Hospital. And I think that's when he felt like he should trust George and not Sonny. But we live in a big world, and people are people. Sometimes you get people that look like you that do you even dirtier than the people that don't look like you. There's a message in that. Never judge a book by its cover. Never judge people on their past. I'll say this again. Me being a high school dean in the school where I work at, we get some of the most troubled kids in New York. I cannot judge a kid on their past before they came to me. All my street dudes in my neighborhood, in the hood where I'm from, I don't judge them on what they did in the streets. I just judge them on the relationship that they have with me. This man didn't do anything wrong with those kids except loved them, took care of them, and exposed them and gave them opportunities that would better their life. Man, salute to my brother Myron Piggie, a true American hero. Say that again. Salute to my brother Myron Piggie, a true American hero. Let's all manifest and make sure Piggie's rules say it again. Piggie rules make it to the big screen, television series, and book coming soon. I'd like to thank everybody who came through. Everyone. Thank you for your support. Make sure you subscribe. Tell everybody about the platform. And let's share this with the world. I don't care if y'all clip it, put it on your platforms, put it on your social media. Make sure everybody get this. Well, we're about to get out of here. I am your host, Glenn Poole Harding, and you've been watching Basketball Heads Live, the podcast on NYC basketball history. Because we are the official home for New York City basketball. And tonight, I'm opening up the platform to the world. So we'll be talking to people from all over the country. Salute. Peace. See you next week. Every Sunday, Wednesday, and Fridays. Check us out. And like we always do around this time, peace. Oh yeah. Before we go, just like to let everybody know, we got merch for sale. Hoodies. Y'all see how I go. Got the slogan on the back. We got all different colors, all different flavors. Come holler at your boy. Hoodies. It's hoodie seasons out here. Let's get it. We out.